President Trump narrows his list to replace Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy. He says he'll leave out a major question for his candidates. 4th of July is starting early here in the Valley, 2 places where the family can take in a fireworks show tonight. And weather for your holiday weekend will be hot but perfect. Dan has more in the forecast. But first, a massive day of actions. Protesters gather in dozens of cities across the country to rally against the White House's zero-tolerance immigration policy. Demonstrators rallied against the separations and detentions of immigrant families at the border. And here in the Valley, protesters against the policy took to the streets downtown. 13 Action News reporter Austin Carter has more on today's message.
Families belong together. That's the message behind this protest in downtown Las Vegas Saturday. As hundreds of locals gathered outside the federal courthouse to show their opposition to President Donald Trump's immigration ban.
He has such an issue with everybody coming into the country, and he's making America, which is a place for everybody to be free, a place that's closed off and not welcome.
Next Gen Nevada, a political nonprofit organization, says the Trump administration has separated over 2,000 children from their parents along the U.S. southern border. Protesters here banding together, saying that rather than supporting the DREAM Act, GOP lawmakers are pushing destructive anti-immigrant legislation.
He's separating little kids from their parents. Like, you need your parents. Like, kids need their families. Like, they need to be together.
And as these protesters join forces with thousands of others across the nation, they're hoping they can use their voice to encourage others to stand up for what's right.
I want people to see how many people in Vegas and across the United States, how we are angry, and I'm hoping that it inspires them.
Austin Carter.
But let's make it right. This one we can make right. We can make it right today.
13 Action News.
And President Trump sent out a couple tweets about immigration and the zero-tolerance policy. He first wrote, "Democrats are making a strong push to abolish ICE." The president then tweeted praising the job of ICE workers, posting, quote, "To the great and brave men and women of ICE, do not worry or lose your spirit." President Trump also claims he never encouraged Republican lawmakers to vote for an immigration bill. And in another tweet today, he says it could never have gotten enough Democrats as long as there's that 60-vote threshold. This comes after a tweet Wednesday before the congressional vote where he said, quote, "House Republicans should pass the strong but fair immigration bill."
All right, well, outside, a lot of sunshine across Las Vegas. You can see that sun shining right now, looking right down the strip. Temperature's really not terrible this afternoon. 103 right now. That's the high so far, right where we thought we'd be for your Saturday, which is actually, this time of year, comfortable. I know 103 sounds hot, but if you lived here for a while, it's really not that bad with the dry air in place. 102 Henderson, 100 Boulder City, 101 right now in North Las Vegas. As we go into the overnight hours, yes, temperatures actually dropping back nicely by, say, 10 o'clock tonight. Those temperatures will be around 95 degrees, still warm, but very doable if you have things to do outside. We'll be down in the mid-80s tonight, but tomorrow the heat's on. We're talking above 105 for a couple days, but then the 4th of July moves in, and that's when changes do start. We're going to take a look at that forecast coming up. Tom.
Looking ahead now, a public viewing will be held tomorrow for Richard Harrison, otherwise known as the Old Man from Pawn Stars. The viewing is from 9 a.m. to noon at Palm Mortuary. That's near Deer Springs and North Jones. A private viewing will be held after. Harrison passed away on Monday after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. He was 77 years old. And tonight, a memorial will be held for a dog that was shot and killed this week near Buffalo and Farm Road. Leo's owner says they were on a walk when he and another dog started growling at each other. That's when the other owner pulled out a gun and shot and killed Leo. CCSD police closed the case, saying the other dog owner wasn't at fault. That memorial begins at 7 p.m. And right now, police are looking for this man who they say robbed a U.S. bank in Henderson. This happened near Paseo Verde and Valley Verde on Wednesday. And you can see this guy went to great lengths to try and hide his identity, wearing a surgical mask and a wig you see there. The man passed a note to the teller demanding money. No one was injured. The number of tourists visiting Reno and Washoe County over the year has topped the 5 million mark. This is the first time since 2007. Officials say increased visitation was from a strong U.S. economy, a renewed push to market Reno and Tahoe, and the arrival of high-profile companies like Apple, Google, and Tesla. Governor Brian Sandoval says the Reno area is in the middle of a renaissance. Nevada casino winnings moved back above the $1 billion mark in May. That's a 5% increase from last year. The Nevada Gaming Control Board reported casinos earned $954 million in April. That was the first time the monthly statewide figure had fallen below $1 billion. President Trump says he'll be interviewing Supreme Court candidates from his golf club in New Jersey, where he and his family are spending the weekend. The president says there's one question, though, that he won't be asking the contenders: how they might vote on Roe v. Wade. ABC's Chuck Sivertson has more.
The president up early this morning, weighing in on the much-anticipated announcement of his second Supreme Court pick, tweeting, "I will be making my choice for Justice of the United States Supreme Court on the first Monday after the July 4th holiday, July 9th. Earlier, aboard Air Force One, he told reporters he's narrowed his short list to 5, adding that 2 of those candidates are women. And despite his campaign promises to the contrary, the president telling Fox News the position of any of these prospective nominees on abortion is not critical.
Are you going to ask your nominees beforehand how they might vote on Roe versus Wade?
Well, that's a big one, and probably not. They're all saying, don't do that, you don't do that, you shouldn't do that, but I'm putting conservative people on.
For conservatives, including many evangelicals, it's believed this pick could ultimately lead to the reversal of the landmark case. For abortion rights advocates,
women's lives are at risk. This is about whether we are going to criminalize women's health care decisions.
It's been just 3 days since Justice Kennedy announced his retirement. Republicans, with a slim 1-vote majority in the Senate, pushing to fill the seat ahead of the midterms.
We now know that the person who replaces him, whoever it might be, will affect American life maybe for decades to come.
Lawmakers readying for an all-out confirmation battle. Democrats already trying to stop any vote, echoing the argument Republicans used when they blocked President Obama's nominee Merrick Garland in an election year.
No one makes it to the Supreme Court without going through the United States Senate. And in the United States Senate, everyone has a vote.
Chuck Sivertson, ABC News, New York.
The community in Annapolis, Maryland comes together for a candlelight vigil honoring the 5 people killed when a gunman stormed into a newspaper's newsroom. The suspect is now behind bars without bond, telling the judge he will not cooperate. Prosecutors say he planned the attack, armed with a 12-gauge shotgun and hunting his victims, barricading the back door to the newsroom so they couldn't escape. The focus is now on those victims. Editorial page editor Gerald Fishman, who worked for the Gazette for over 25 years, and so did John McNamara, a sports reporter. Sales assistant Rebecca Smith had just started at the paper. Capital Gazette editor and columnist Robert Hyson, remembered as a mentor to younger reporters, and Wendy Winters, a special publication editor who described herself as a proud Navy mom.
My mother was doing her job, and they were all doing their job, and this is a tragedy.
Investigators reveal the suspect had a history of making threats toward the Capital Gazette newspaper. And there's a petition to honor Officer Charleston Hartfield, who was shot and killed during the 1 October shooting. People have come together asking CCSD to name one of 3 new schools after the fallen officer. The schools are scheduled to open next school year. So far, the petition has more than 200 signatures. St. Jude's Ranch for Children planted a healing garden in Boulder City. Children who live at the ranch and staff completed phase 1 of the community garden with 6 planting beds and fruit trees. A gardening program will also be developed to teach children about life skills. It'll also help children experience fresh food. A tough rescue to save one small puppy. After a long night, the furry friend was saved, but learned what made that mission a little difficult. Also, flipping houses is a trendy way to make money. We'll take a look at one flip that raised money for charity in just a few days. And count on Chopper 13 to bring you breaking news fast and first. We'll be right back. Rescue crews successfully save a 7-week-old deaf puppy that fell down a 50-foot crevice in Alabama. Toffee somehow fell into the space behind a home. Authorities spent nearly 24 hours trying to free the dog. Toffee is being fostered by a family in Huntsville. The good news, he is expected to be okay. Super cute there. And a new dog park is bringing your love for pets and your love for craft beer together. Barks Parks is now open. It's an indoor park with air conditioning where you can trust that dogs are up to date on vaccines and not aggressive, and where people will be forced to pick up after their dogs. Plus, it serves alcohol on Fridays and Saturdays.
We just want to provide a safe indoor environment that you and your pups can enjoy all year round. The craft beer is definitely an exciting element that a lot of people are looking forward to, but we will be so much more than that.
Pretty cool idea there. And the Barks Parks Indoor Dog Park is near Eastern and the 215. The cost is about $10 a month. Efforts to locate 12 boys and their soccer coach in a cave in Thailand has picked up pace. There's now a break in the rain, easing flooding and giving another chance for more crews to join in on the mission. Pumping water out of the cave hasn't solved the problem. Experts are now finding shafts on the outside of the cave to enter some blocked off areas. Australian police and military personnel were deployed today to join other multinational teams.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm 13 First Alert meteorologist Dan Broadus. Now, temperatures today, not too bad. We're currently sitting at our high temperature of 103. That's that current temperature, sitting at 104. Las Vegas with that sun shining. Yes, it feels a little warmer, especially when that sun's hitting you. But really, 103 this time of year, it's average. It's not horrible. You walk out of your car, yeah, you feel it, but you don't feel it like if it was 113. So we'll definitely take these temperatures. So not bad if you're enjoying your holiday weekend right now. Now, taking a look at the monsoon. We've been in the monsoon for a couple weeks. We have dry weather in place, though there really isn't much moisture to work with, so no rainfall. Let's take you through the weekend. Really, you see the browns kind of stick around. Nothing really changes across the west until we enter the weekend. Look at just south of us back in Arizona. See that big green blob around Phoenix? That is the start of the monsoon. It looks like it's going to start ramping up down there by the weekend. That is about average, so we could start anticipating some moisture to maybe move up the Colorado River by next weekend into next week. We'll watch that closely. As of now, it's a week out. Can't really see what the monsoon is going to do a week out, but it looks like there's signs that it could be coming to life this year. Pollen counts, not terrible in that moderate category, just weeds mostly elevated. That will be there throughout the week. Air quality, not the best today because of the high pressure and the light winds. That ozone this time of year just kind of sits here in the valley. So sensitive, relatively high actually for us. Usually you see us in that moderate category. So, you know, if you're sensitive, you're definitely going to feel that if you're outside breathing for a while. Even normal people might actually see some hard time breathing at times with pollen levels, or not pollen, but ozone levels that high. All right, so June in the books, and you know what? It was a hot month, really, really was. Look at the lows, only a couple days, 2, I think, below average, the first and then 1 day in the middle. Look at the highs. It was just so warm. Almost every day except 4 was above average for the month of June. Tonight, keeping it warm, 80 degrees in Las Vegas, 77 Spring Valley, 79 Green Valley. Actually pretty close to normal though. Now tomorrow's highs going up a little more. We're talking above 105, 106 that forecast high at McCarran, 104 Spring Valley, 106 Southern Highlands, and Boulder City will be at 105. All right, so Amelia spinning out in the Pacific, already at E. It seems like this season's just kind of moving fast with the Pacific. This storm has weakened drastically. It's going to move out to sea, not be a problem. Another system down to a south we're watching that could strengthen. You can see the models keeping it well offshore, so should not be a threat to our weather as we go into next weekend. Here you go for the week. Temperatures actually coming down a little bit after we warm up to 107 on Monday, keeping the sun out, maybe some clouds Tuesday, Wednesday as the winds pick up a little bit. Really nothing too bad as of now. The holiday, 103 itself for 4th of July. We'll take that with a lot of sunshine out there. Fireworks, you know what? Looking good. No issues because of the sunshine, the light winds. Yeah, we're going to have some pretty nice weather come 9 o'clock Wednesday night for any fireworks going off. And then, Tom, the heat's on next weekend, 110 once again.
Enjoy that nice and cool 103 for 4th of July while we can, for sure. Thanks, Dan. All right, well, if you're looking for a job, we want to help you out. 13 Action News is working with Nevada Job Connect to make sure you know about them. There's an opening for an asphalt laborer. Pay starts at $25 an hour. Also an opening for a CVC machine operator. Salary starts at $12 an hour based on your experience. And an opening for a seamster or seamstress that starts at $9 an hour. For more information on these jobs and other openings around the valley, just head on over to ktnv.com/jobs. Well, 7 out of 10 Americans are putting off major financial decisions. It's mostly because people don't feel informed enough to make a decision. Principal Financial Group just did a survey, and here's the good news. You can always learn and then make changes. A lot of people just don't think they have enough money to make these decisions. But even people with high incomes put off making changes. Some people would rather spend money on things they'll see now and see financial planning as too far down the road. Well, house flipping is one way people are taking advantage of the hot retail market right now, so why not tap into that demand and help others? Scripps reporter Kumasi Aaron shows us the fast flip that could have a lasting impact for a lot of people in need.
I saw this place a day ago, and I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
Toby Tansler is talking about the transformation taking place right in front of his eyes. He and dozens of people working to make the house that looked like this when they started into a masterpiece ready for sale. But here's the catch. They're doing it in 72 hours.
All these people here, they're volunteering their time, they're volunteering services, they're coming together for people they're never going to meet in their lives, which is an incredible, it's an inspiring thing.
The volunteers are professionals and regular folks, all here with the buyout company. The company usually buys homes, fixes them up, and sells them for a profit. But in this case, the money they get after the house sells will go to charity. That's an estimated $100,000, making every step.
Finishing the basement, new landscaping, fencing, air conditioner, electric, plumbing.
All the more fulfilling.
A little bit more a sense of accomplishment and being able to do that, to be a part of it, and then for the great causes as well that it's going to go and benefit.
The work done here translates to money for a local high school cross-country team and a middle school leadership team. And it also means money for 2 organizations in Africa. One helping women become more self-sufficient, and the one Toby leads, helping children get access to books.
Most of the children don't even have a book that they've ever held in their hands, yet we're going to be able to give them a state-of-the-art library where kids can go. The whole community is going to be changed because of this project.
Jens Anderson thinks that's well worth his time.
It feels great to be able to help them.
And he's receiving as much as he's giving.
I definitely think it builds communities and grows them closer together as we serve together.
This is the result of all their hard work, flipping the script on flipping houses, giving new life in more ways than one. I'm Kumasi Aaron.
All right, well, 4th of July is right around the corner, but select casinos are celebrating early tonight. Why not, right? More on tonight's fireworks show. And a teen turned lawnmower is turning lawn mowing into his own empire. Ahead, more on his secret to success. All right, well, we're just 4 days away from the 4th of July. The holiday falls smack dab in the middle of the week this year. And with the 4th on a Wednesday, a lot of people are trying to decide which weekend to celebrate, this weekend or next weekend.
Take off Monday and Tuesday and then have Wednesday off.
In Australia, we celebrate before and up until the day.
I like her thinking. Some were upset about the midweek 4th, which can ruin the potential of a long celebratory weekend, while others said it's no big deal since they only planned on celebrating Wednesday. But the best idea, those of you who are planning on celebrating all week. But if you are celebrating this weekend, fireworks are planned at Caesars Palace tonight. The show begins around 9:20 p.m. The Plaza Hotel is hosting a rooftop pool party, which includes a hot dog eating contest. A fireworks show will start at 10 p.m. And we have an entire list of festivities and celebrations on our website at ktnv.com. Well, for a lot of kids, having a lemonade stand or mowing lawns is a rite of passage. But one kid took his side job and turned it into a full-fledged business. Scripps reporter Andy Taylor talks with him about his big accomplishment, what it took to achieve success, and the challenge he's tackling next.
Howdy. And they go, how old are you? And I go, I'm 17. And they go, can you do this? And I'm like, we got a whole team. We do this all day, every day.
That's RJ Dwart. And yes, you heard correctly. He's 17 and runs his own landscaping company called Greenworks.
I think that's all she wanted us to do with the roses.
He started mowing lawns at 8 years old just so he could buy candy. But here he is almost 10 years later with 14 full-time workers, turning his summer job into a budding business.
It's been a long road here so far, and I feel like I'm just getting started.
The journey for RJ is far from over.
One day at a time, really.
But the road to get to where he is wasn't so easy, seeing that he was a full-time student.
Last year, we do contract mowing at like 4 a.m. and then go to school and then do school for 8 hours. Right after school, we'd work up until dark.
Besides working and going to school full-time, there were a lot of struggles for RJ to overcome.
The hardest part of being a business owner is that obviously there's never a schedule. You're the last to get paid. You take care of everybody before yourself. Another struggle we have too is being so young, you know, financial institutions, insurance companies don't take me seriously.
RJ might be a teenager making more money than most adults, but he says he's had to sacrifice a lot of his youth to get to where he is.
We work, 80, 90, 100 hours a week during the summer, so summer for us is like workcation. I've missed out on like birthday parties, grad parties.
Now a high school graduate, RJ will be going to college in the fall and says his next challenge will be growing Greenworks while he's away at school.
It wouldn't be fun if there weren't challenges and problems, right? If it was the same old thing, I wouldn't be doing it.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
All right, well, there's tons of fresh treats to stay cool during the summer across the valley. Up next, see 2 soda shops that bring a lot of flavor. And don't forget to download the all-new 13 Action News app. It features live streaming, video on demand, and a handy weather radar. It's free in the App Store and Google Play. We'll be right back. specialize in customizing unique flavor combinations, and they're right here in the Valley. First up, Pop Drinks, located on South Fort Apache and West Tropicana. It has Vegas-themed drinks. A favorite of our digital producer tried was the Golden Knight, which has Mountain Dew, blackberry, raspberry, and vanilla ice cream. And second, Fizz Drinks on West Flamingo and the 215 Beltway. Their drinks have a little more flair and some tasty Italian soda and frozen hot chocolate. It's pretty good there.
You ruined it with that peep on top. Come on. All right. So 106 today or not today. That's tomorrow. Excuse me. Today's high was 103, so a little bit warmer there. A lot of sunshine this week. I know the holiday by Wednesday. You know what? Yeah, it's going to be a little warm Monday, but give it a day, and then we're back below 105 on Tuesday. Winds will pick up a little bit Tuesday. Shouldn't be too bad Wednesday. Still a little breeze. Nothing too bad, though. 103. That sounds great for the holiday. And then the heat's on. 110 Friday and Saturday. A lot of sunshine this week. No signs of the monsoon. Overnight lows will stay mild, especially by next week, and 85 degrees for an overnight low.
Never thought nice and cool would be 103 for the holiday, but I guess
Yes.
that's the best we can hope for right now. All right, well, here's a look at what's coming up in tonight's primetime lineup right here on ABC. At 8 o'clock, America's Funniest Home Videos. 9, Truth and Lies, the murder of Lacey Peterson. Then keep it right here for 13 Action News at 11. That's our news for now. Stay with us for world news coming up next. We're always on at ktnv.com, our mobile app, Roku channel. We'll see you right back here in half an hour for 13 Action News live at 6. Thanks for watching, everyone.